What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I will be your host this evening. This is the show where I hang out at the end of a week after I probably ought to have gone to bed after a long day's worth of work at the comic book store, and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures that I've accumulated over the years to paint. There's an old saying that says, if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die. So I'm just trying to stave off death for as long as possible. Normally I don't do this alone, but today I am hopelessly alone because my two co-hosts have forsaken me for other, more important, family first endeavors. So I'm all by me onesies. Oh well. Worse things have happened. And I've got Magneto on the painting board today. But if you look very closely in the capture here, you'll notice that there's something else suspiciously on my tray as well. So, that's true. I do have you, RPD, and I appreciate that. As with all the shows that we host on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. And let me quickly... No, doesn't really fix it. All right, whatever, fine. Okay, anyway, yeah, so let's paint. Let's well, sort of, maybe paint? Here, let's do this. So, yeah, I've got Daredevil kicking around on the paint tray here. And while this appears, at first glance, to be a completed mini, in fact, it is. Turn the light on here so we can see some of the highlights and stuff. That is a completed mini. Like, for all intents and purposes, that is a beautiful completed mini. However, at the store today, I discovered tufts. I found little grassy bits. I also found an old, in fact, this is like, oh my god, how many years old is this? How old are my students? Like 12? No. 13? 13. This is almost 20 years old flocking. I've literally had it that long, but it still works. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And flocking hasn't changed over the years, so this is a complete mini, but is it really though? Yeah, I mean, you know. So I'm going to attempt to put some flocking and like really make this base look nice. If this works, I'm also going to do it with Kraven the Hunter. I've got him coming up very soon. So what I did with Daredevil here is like he's standing on a headstone very clearly. Adam suggested that I put some boxing gloves on it to make it Battle and Jack Murdoch's headstone. But I feel like it's a little too ornate to be Battle and Jack's. I think it's just a generic headstone in a graveyard somewhere. So I picked up some pony glue. You'll notice this is generically pony glue. And I have my tufts, and I have my flocking and some water, and we're gonna try. This has been a very long time since I've done this because most of the time I use, you know, things like astrogranite and whatnot for basing these days. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if I can remember how to do this. It's gonna be some serious learning and growing. I also, in lieu, like traditionally, normally I use this barely recognizable GT's kombucha cap, but you can see it as my mixing tray. I also I bit the bullet and bought like a proper mixing tray, and part of the reason for that is I'm not exclusively using Citadel paint anymore. This week I got my Green Stuff World paint in. We'll unbox those when we have either Mike or Adam back with us on the show. I don't have any use for them today. I'm just working on Daredevil and Magneto. So, but once I break into like Storm and, you know, people who need glow effects and Dormammu and things like that, that's when we'll bust that out. So the flocking, if I'm remembering it correctly, the flocking mixture is 50-50 water and pony glue. I really hope that's right. There's some pony glue in the tray. Thing about pony glue is Since I have your attention, I'd like to quickly make sure I've got my portrayal of Greg right, just to give me the cue and you're up. Yeah, go for it, RPD. I'm just mixing water and glue here. Oh no, I just spilled it all over my lap. Oh, that's very cold. Oh, that's very cold. Good news is it's beating right off, but I also don't particularly want to drop this on my computer. That'd be really bad. There. Just throw it over my shoulder. That seems like the logical play. Alright, I think I got enough in the little thing. And in fact, I got even more than I needed, so we're fine. Okay, so 50-50 PVA glue and water. I mean pony glue. And then we just kind of spread that where we want it, I think? I hope? Or are we about to do hardcore learning and growing the hard way? We shall see. So I'm going to use my spreader tool. Now, the way I've done this base is like, it's weathered around the headstone, so like someone's clearly been there. So I'm really just putting the flocking at the very edge. And like in the darkest spots. I'm using my spreader tool again. All I should have to do is dunk it in here. Alright, so first up, the basic stat block for the jobber, you do -1 to one stat and +1 to another. I want -1 to body, +1 to work for a total of +2. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense for this is for Greg, so yeah. Definitely with you so far. Okay, I might have even gone a little too far with the blocking here. And tap some of it out. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this. Oh, I have rolling balls of doom falling on my head here. I'm going to use a detail brush to just kind of scrape away some of this. Too heavy. Alright, I think that's more or less how I want it. And then just a little bit more for this stuff. I've never worked with this stuff in my life, so this is going to be some serious learning and growing. I think it might be pre-sticky, which is kind of cool, but I don't, like, a tuft I want is not that big. It is pre-sticky. So if I just, like, take a chunk out of it, does that work? Yes, it does seem to. Maybe. Sticking to everything except where I want it to, which is delightful. Yeah, that didn't work at all. Okay. I think that actually did it. That's a really cool looking base. All right. Suitable for my personal favorite character. I think that's good enough. Now I gotta chase this other tuft around. So the next time we see the tufts will be on Craven, but I'm sure I'll find use for them over the years. Not like they're going anywhere. I also have like big tufts too. I don't know if I'll ever use those, but never know. Alright, well, Daredevil's all set. Secondly, for his ability, you choose... Hold on. Get out of here. Tufts. Okay. Secondly, for his ability, you choose from a list. I went with Jobber to the Stars, which basically means he's a Jobber / Bonzi buddy when up against characters big enough to have actual players. So that's not... Yes. Yeah. The other options are +1 real, being extra sympathetic for the audience, or being able to pitch flipping ideas. No. It's... Whoa! Ugh. He does, like, he is responsible for a lot of the decisions we make on the show. So, like, he does, like, anytime we play Fate of the Elder Gods, anytime we play First Edition, something like that, even the card game, like, that's been Greg's call. I don't know if that influences your decision at all. I like where he's at, but just something to consider. Okay. I feel like the pitch ability makes sense for Jared, considering the Jared card. That's true. That is true. That is very true. And I respect that. Alright, I mixed up way too much of that. Okay, so we're on to Magneto. Here he is. Big dude himself. I don't know why my camera's not focusing today. Focus, dummy. Thank you. Nope. Okay, that should lock the focus. And should allow us to see what we're doing. So I've already done base coat ink wash on him. His eyes are coming out pretty well. This model is insanely difficult. Like, I'm having so much trouble with it. But I think the muscle definition is coming through with the ink wash. The Null and Oil does it again. So we're just going to dive right in on Evil Sunz Scarlet and see where it takes us. Greg has done only 10 pre-stream minutes from beginning to end. Nice. Brush. I also need to not dump lampposts all over the place. What is going on? Why am I so discombobulated today? Get out of my way. Stop falling everywhere. Stay. Thank you. Oh, I guess this one. Tuft. Where's there tuft? I put the tuft. Oh, it fell out. This is the one I pulled. Okay. I'm having a day here. We're not off to the best start. Alright, and as I said, I can smash together WWW characters. Yeah, absolutely. It's just really cool, you know? It's so rare that anybody sort of can do that in any RPG. If you know what I mean. So the particular version of Magneto that I'm going for here is 90s Magneto. It's a comically sharp contrast to the hours of laboring in SC. Yeah, exactly. The red shades that I have go together so well that it becomes really easy to shade. That holds true for green as well. Part of that is I use those colors so frequently in Warhammer that it's almost comical again. Purple's going to be a very different story and may actually involve some mixing, which I'm not opposed to at this point. Not that I ever was. But Adam likes to make fun of me for have painting problems. Throw money at it, or Mike bucks. Which is our store's colloquialism for store credit. Speaking of, did you find a chance to read my idea of what Broody and Alex are doing? I did not. Did not get a chance for that. Although if I'd thought about it today, I probably could have. It was a pretty slow day at the store. When all my gaming tables are occupied, it's very difficult for me to do anything with the comics. / after lifting and picking things up and putting things down all week, I was like, I don't feel like it. I'll do other things instead. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Broody and Alex are doing almost a parody version of the gimmick you described, where in interview promos, Broody talks about Alex as if he's the classical, questionably PC savage gimmick, while Alex loudly and verbally tries to explain to him that he's not a baboon, to no avail, culminating in him just sighing and half-heartedly doing the mannerisms for his entrance. So like Hulk in Endgame. Incidentally, RPD, Alex, like, have I ever told you this? Like, have we ever explained why we call Alex the baboon? I feel like I must have, right? I think that's how the reconcile these gimmicks with how due to taking place in the modern day, I can't really do the Savage Wildman gimmick. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, sorry, my back's been out all day. You'll find that I'm going to have to periodically stop and stretch tonight. Always stretch before strenuous paint workouts. Yeah. I don't know, RPD, how well you're following the chatter in the Minis channel on Adam's Discord, but over the course of this week, somebody commissioned C27 to make. I will in a second. One of mine and Adam's favorite '90s superhero, like teen superhero teams, Gen 13, and I know you're kind of aware of it because you wanted to hear what their like C27 names would be, and I've actually been thinking about it. And when I get Adam on the show again, I'll tell you what I've come up with. But because I'm a crazy person, I went ahead and bought most of it, including, some rarities. Most, and the whole lot, like some 50 issues or something like that, cost me like $160 or something in store credit in Mike Bucks. So I was like, oh well, okay, that seems fine. But I'm excited to read those and excited to build, print, paint, etc. Those minis. So yeah, Alex is the baboon because at the very beginning of the big comic sort at the store, I had just been hired. Like, not too many people know this at this point, but I was hired to sort Magic cards, which is miserable and I hate it. And it's actually physically painful. I gotta paint this. My brother's birthday is next week. Oh god, that's gonna be bad. That's not gonna be done in time. And so Megan, my coworker, was like, "Oh, Zach can sort comics." And I was like, "Yes, I can. I'm like uniquely qualified to do that. I'm a librarian. That makes perfect sense." And so Mike put me on sorting the back issues. Now, he expected that the entire thing, like, now remember, this is 5 years worth of work, would be done in a weekend. He literally thought he could bang it out in 2 days. And so, of course, we laughed. And he's like, fine, bring in whoever you need to help you. Like, after he proved himself wrong, he said, okay, bring in whoever you need to help. And I was like, no, don't do that. This is going to be much more efficient if I do it myself. And of course, nobody listened. Like, why would they, right? They had no proof, except, my word. And I'd been working there for like, a couple of months at the time. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, literally, this is library science. This is what I do professionally. I know what I'm doing. And they were like, nah, bring in a couple of friends. Just like, it'll help. I'm like, fine, whatever. So I was like, give me like Alex Maxwell and Sammy's brother Leo. And my thinking was, oh, I can just like have them sit in the back and chat with me while I work and get store credit for doing absolutely nothing. But Alex and Leo both being military or ex-military or military, Alex being ex-military and Leo being like military family, they have a work ethic, and I respect that. And so they tried to help. And so I was like, all right, here's a pile of comics, see what you can do with it. And invariably they sorted it wrong. Because comics are weird, and for example, those Gen 13 comics, there's 2 series there, but you would never know that unless you knew what you were looking for. So Alex had to stop every like 10 to 15 minutes and be like, what is this thing that I'm sorting? And I'd be like, no, you buffoon. And I called him a buffoon repeatedly, like over and over and over again. And finally he turned to me and he's like, I'm not a baboon. And I'm like, well, you are. And I thought he said, I'm not a buffoon. I was wrong. The only thing more painful than sorting Magic cards is enabling the biker-esque territory control of Magic players. There's no... Oh my god, yeah, that's true. That is a good callback. And our friend Emily, who happened to be crushing on Alex hardcore at the time, popped in at that moment and heard him say, I'm not a baboon. And we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, yeah, you're a baboon forever now. And that is how Alex became the baboon. Oof, this is coming out badly. I think I can salvage it though. I'm gonna go a little closer on a couple of places here. Like this bicep. There we go. Let's carry that one. This one. There we go. Get more muscular shapes here, not just weird amorphous lumps, cancerous blobs. Liking this so far. Gonna have to do like a final highlight on it, but I like what it's looking like. Very 90s. Still gotta do the helmet, but that's alright. After hearing that, I feel confident saying you've never told that Really? Oh, I feel like I tell that story all the time. Yeah, no, that's that is ask us on Gear Up's not for another 2 weeks, but I can maybe get Alex to corroborate that story. It's been a while since we've had Leo on. There was an episode of Gear Up where Leo guested. Ow! Pinch my hand in the paint pot. That's a new one. Alright, so I gotta decide how to do the purple. And I think the best way to do that is to grab Thor. Perfect. Yes, that would be what I expected. So Thor is the best cape that I've ever done. And it looks to me as though I just need dark purple and just to go nuts. And the darkest purple layer that I have is this one. What is this? Xeris Purple. Is that going to be the right shade? I guess it will be. We'll see how we do. I'm going to start with just an edge and we'll see what it looks like. Marvel really does use a lot of reds. I don't hate it. Right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start with a small brush, and we'll see where it goes. If I decide that, come on. I did buy some brush soap today. I'm gonna hopefully clean out some of these brushes and make them a little more usable. Like this is gross. All right, I'm gonna start with just the trim. And we'll see where we go from there. Just like here, across. Is it doing anything? What the hell? Oh, okay. That's gonna be really hard to see on camera, but it looks great in person. This is gonna take a while. To fill out airtime, I guess I can talk about the many other places one can... Okay, yeah, go for it. And I can talk about the interesting phone call I got the other day. My old co-teacher found herself at Galaxy's Edge at Disney World. And I gotta say, like, I saw the prices on some of the stuff in the shops, and I was like, man, I kind of don't care. Like, I love Star Wars, but, like, not that much. But she was very excited about it. And I was like, alright, well, I'm not going to yuck your yum. I happen to be friends with a guy who's made a YouTube video archive of fighting game bosses hidden on... What, really? That's so strange. I love niche things like that, though. I mean, obviously I do. I'm the guy who pays attention to that duder on YouTube who's like, I can control Wi-Fi with my mind from this coffee shop. I'll propose to a barista from telepathically. Although, admittedly, since I haven't seen Spud in 2 years, my friend Spud, in like 2 years, I haven't heard much from that guy. Opens up a lot of interesting discussions, especially because despite only being meant for the AI, most of these characters actually have fully mapped movesets to make the AI's motions look more realistic. Huh. I guess that doesn't surprise me. It's cool, though. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Achoo! Achoo! Excuse me. All you have to do is a very simple character address freeze on most fighting game bosses. Huh. That is really fascinating. I guess not surprising in any way. I'll be right back. I need to go grab a Kleenex. Okay, sorry. Whew. Sometimes a sneeze just gets you. If you've ever seen the multiplayer arc in Art of Fighting 1, and how most of those characters are really wonky, that's probably because the multiplayer just removes it. Oh, interesting. So what I'm doing is I'm doing an edge highlight and then I'm going to dry brush with the same. I think that's going to give me the fabric-y feel that I'm looking for here. Some games store cutscene NPCs and character software in-game in-engine cutscenes leading to those. Oh my god. They even kind of have moves sets due to the game just defaulting to whatever moveset the character... Oh, wow. Oh man, this is a slow process. But my goal this weekend, this vacation, was to paint a big model. I was going to do Kingpin. Then I saw Magneto and I was like, this seems more interesting. Definitely need to reset the brush here. Also, just a really interesting way to journey through the giant world of fighting games. Yeah, for real. Playing as oddball and like obscure characters seems like a lot of fun to me. But you know, I'm always down for, you know, super weird, like bizarre, janky stuff. There's an absolutely inordinate amount of shadows in this model. Did Atomic Mass Games just go ahead and hire Sam from the Shadows department? We have also unearthed glitchy eldritch abominations, yes. Hey, Dreaded 603, what's going on? It's going well. Just hanging out. Painting Magneto. Highlighting is difficult. Trying to keep a lot of the impact of the Nuln Oil. Keep things very 90s with this model. After finishing that giant project, he's seeing how many arcade games he can get 1 credit clears on. Apparently, it's what? 418? That guy's a baller. That's absolutely nuts, RPD. I can't even fathom that. I mean, you've seen Paul and me play Brawlers. All the credits. Oh! While we're talking about strange ways to clear arcade-style games, on the pod, I don't know if you managed to watch the VOD of the podcast from last week, but Josh and I came up with what I think might be the new speedrun tech for Super Mario Brothers the First. And that is a foot pedal to jump. My students tried it, and it worked shockingly well. And now Josh wants to try it. Alright, I think I'm okay with this cape. I'm going to try something. This may work, and it may not. I'm going to go down a brush size. I'm going to swap over to Genestealer Purple, which is very, very bright. Do I want to try this? No. You know, I don't think I do. Well, let's call up in a picture of Magneto. Yeah? Okay. That's not the picture I was basing it on, though. Ugh. Is it this one? No. This one. Alright, 1, 2... Yeah, 3 shades of purple. Okay. Basically, for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, the win quotes were all redone, and then BBH was... And BBH was actually friends with the guy on Capcom's localization team at the time, so he has a shout out hidden in the win quote for the character he made at the time. Nice! That's awesome. Alright, so we're gonna go down to a very small brush. Not the smallest, but a very small brush. And this is just like the very, very tippy top. I may undo this. I may change. I reserve the right to change my mind. Ooh. Can you see that? It's literally like cut in half. Probably not. How's that look? I don't know. I'm not certain I love this. Oof, too much. Oh, jeez. I don't hate that. Exactly love it either, but Shoot. Okay. Basically, Alex's win quote when beating 12 is, "I could use a new bowling ball and your head will do nicely," or something like that, and the BBH doesn't indeed stand for bowling ball head. Nice. So Captain Kirk's threatening to do Mega Man Zero on stream. We all know how that goes. Honestly, I want to be there for him, but there's just so precious little time for me to watch anybody stream. Like, I can't even watch Paul stream. Like, shows you just how busy I am these days. But I really do want to. Oh, I have full. Dude, you watched me beat Mega Man Zero. Like, it's very doable. Honestly, the biggest threat in that game is stream brain or camera brain. And hitboxes that only exist in your imagination. Yeah, that's true. But of course, when it dropped for Switch, I had to go back and replay it. The game is so good. Played out isn't the word I'd use. Okay, so here's my take on that, RPD. I don't think it's played out at all. It's mostly the fact that I just don't know that character very well, so it's really hard for me to react. Excuse me. Right. Yeah, I got that. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a very, very soft brush. It's actually a base brush that's just worn out to just dry brush the same purple over the cape. Just make it a little more cloth-y. Alright. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. I'm going to do the edge lining on the red, and then the helmet. But we'll move on in just a minute. Like, ROM would be... Yeah, ROM would be another way. Oh, God. Yeah, probably. You're right. Or the Micronauts. Is this the red I want to use? I got so many reds. Oh, jeez. I have dropped a very important brush into a crevasse. This is my primary inking brush. And I can't seem to get a grip on it because I have no fingernails. Hold on, can I just pass it all the way out? Yes, I can. There we go. I saved it. What's this? WASDAC Red. No. Too Dark. The channel I sometimes post videos from, Toy Galaxy, did a video about Micronauts, and the whole time there's a times canceled counter. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is very orange. All right. Mixing trays up again for the second time today. It's hilarious how many... Yeah, it is extremely funny. My friend Mark Green is a very, very big Micronauts fan. And I'm like, dude, could this comic be canceled more times? His response is always, shut up. Yeah, okay. We found our highlight coat. 50-50 mix of Wild Rider Red and Evil Sunz Scarlet. Yeah, but you know my time constraints, RPD. I'd be lucky if I get to watch a video. Would be a funnier way to do a deep cut. Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't know. If I come up with something, I'll let you know. But like, jokes are always funnier when they're organic, you know, and not forced. Not that I'm not saying you're forcing this. I'm just saying. The funniest moments on stream happen because they happen, you know? Tim Vine once said on a podcast that humans are naturally funny. Like, we see the world as populated by... Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, it's true. Night Thrasher. Humans are weirdness magnets. I'm paraphrasing here pretty significantly, but like, we are inherently funny, and we gravitate toward, you know, funny people, comedians, as, you know, sort of a nexus of that, where really, like, the only thing that's funny about a comedian is their ability to articulate it. You know what I mean? There's my dumb way too deep cut. Yeah. But there's those deep cuts, like the ones that make me laugh, are the ones that, you know, I haven't heard about Night Thrasher in, well, since I sorted that comic. All right. So now I need to make a highlight coat for the helmet. And what I need to do here is a 50/50 Wild Rider, Evil Sunz Scarlet, and Ironbreaker, which is somewhere up here, I think. Maybe not. Nope, it's right here. And while I've got Ironbreaker out, I'm also going to do the dry brush on the metal, because that's the next bit there. I haven't heard about Night Thrasher since I got that reminder of why I made the point to forget Night Thrasher. Yes. So what I'm doing here is basically just making my own metallic. It is a metallic red by mixing Ironbreaker in with the red. And it's just barely metallic. Like, it's not, it's showing up on stream as very metallic because it's right under a light. But like, just off stream, it's like, whatever. Yep, fine. Okay, no, you know what a way too deep cut would be? The Human Fly. Who I, believe it or not, do have every issue of his comic. Because because my roommate said do it, you won't. And I did. It is a good reason, right? I don't know. I don't tell enough stories about my misadventures with the brain. My old roommate, I called him the Brain. His name was Brian. And Brian and I got into not really trouble so much as like do this thing and see what happens. We were very stereotypical agents of chaos in that way. We would often go on a stroll down to the comic book store / antique mall just to see what kind of trouble we could get into. And keep an eye on the imbeciles downtown. We would come back with many things that our other roommate, Steve-O, did not appreciate. Mostly rubber duckies. Brian had quite a collection of rubber duckies. He used to like strategically leave them around the house just to see if Steve would react. Oh, that is... Oh. I know you can't see this, but... Took some doing, but I think we actually have a good purple. For the Ducks, yo! Exactly. This is pre-FP. Like, actually pre-FP. We were roommates in 2010. The FP didn't exist until 2012, so I was still in film school at the time. Oh dear. That was interesting. Ah. Alright. Oh, I definitely mixed up way more purple than I needed, but that's fine. Shiny purple. Go on the shiny balls, on his jacket, and on this thing that I don't know what it is. And I guess his belt buckle too. Why not? Cool. Yeah, alright, I like it. Alright, while that brush rinses itself silly, I will dry brush the Iron Breaker onto the metal. The holy rusted metal, Batman. Now, I could use Necron Compound for this. I'm choosing not to, because I want a heavier coat. Here we go. This is really what's going to turn this into metal. Instead of just rusted stuff. Arm in it. I really do like this rusted metal technique. It looks so good. This is just a result of some Googling on the part of the baboon. I'm actually going to use this metallic purple again in a second, because I think these bits of twisted gunk at the base probably came from Sentinels. Just an educated guess, but check this out. Here's my metallic purple. Just going to do a little of this. Alright, so I just did a little purpling on the little nubby thing on his base. Alright. Alright, I gotta do his skin next, which there's not much of. But he's starting to look really good. I'm actually really happy with this model so far. Okay. You go up here. You go there. You go there. Is it sad that I'm starting to actually have, an organization system here? It's concerning. Who am I and what have I done with myself? Oh, there's... Ah, yes. One more little quick thing that I gotta do with the rust. The deepest, most corroded areas are going to get this Nihilakh oxide. It's technical. That looks really cool. In here, up in here. Don't need much. Alright, that should do it. And then... Right. Need this brush back, my dry brush. Dry the brush, not stick it back in wet paint. That's a terrible idea. Get the dirt dealt with. And that is my Terminatus stone. Okay. A little patch job to do it. For some reason the paint didn't stick in that corner. It's alright, easy fix. Just need my mech standard. We'll patch that right up. There, a little bit of that in there. One more piece inside here. All right. There are way too many brushes in my water bath. Oh, right. I still need to do a skin. I'm a dummy. And that requires Cadian Flesh Tone. Come on. There we go. Just the tiniest bit, 'cause there's not much showing. Do, 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 do. Come on. All right, there we go. That was easy enough. All right, I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is, of course, the base ring. And obviously, we're going to do that in purple. Because I don't actually have a single Marvel Crisis Protocol mini with a purple base ring yet. I mean, until a few moments from now. Put that right aside. And I need Nagaroth Knight back. I say back, I haven't actually used that tonight. realize you've been zoomed out the whole stream. Here's Abrush. Nice deep purple. QRPD making a smoke on the water joke. Almost there. This part is so annoying. Adam and I are both kicking ourselves at this point for starting doing this. It does make them look dope. Don't spill, Zach. That, of course, being a lampoon of Tasty's Making It Big, where Alvin Zhu, YouTuber, says, don't spill, Alvin. And then invariably spills. In this world, it's kick or be kicking. right. All right, let's take a look at this. See how we did. I'm in no way disappointed by that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's take a look at how Daredevil dried up here. A little extra touch on his base there. I think that looks really, really cool. And just for poops and giggles, here's Thor. I was using him as a reference. But I think the difference here is the fold lines in Magneto's cape are much more pronounced. Oops. Oh, I put Thor on the camera here. The fold lines are much more pronounced, so it's that very sharp line is kind of necessity. Yeah. Well, I think, honestly, like, with 15 minutes left in the show, there's not really enough time to start another mini. So I think I'm just going to call it there. We're going to have a short show today. So I'll post pictures of these to Discord shortly. But thank you for hanging out tonight. It's been a pleasure. I will be back on Wednesday to finish up Spider-Man. And hopefully we'll have Mike and or Adam back next Saturday for more of this. So thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye.